Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. We're doing all because they're having a wonderful day on this 3rd December 2024. Today's actually a really cool subject. Today is a really nice, little, not like something psychology, but sociology for sure. So we're going to talk about the evaluation of people, the value of people. So what do I mean by value of people? If you were a kid, right? If I had to explain to a kid, I would say your friends and your best friends, right? As a kid, everybody's your friend. Everybody's nice, right? But you have people that you really like, that's your best friend, right? As a teen, that's my crew, that's my homies, that's my bros. I don't know you, I don't give a fuck about you, right? As an adult is okay. Well, you know what? I want to spend time with these people. This is the value of people. Now, what is technically a more scientific term, more non-personal way of saying the value of people? A friend told you that this person was an asshole. So when you go in, you have this preconceived notion that this person is an asshole. I'm not a fan of Rockstar, but this was really good. When I started drinking it, I was like, ugh, Rockstar, I'm not a fan of it. So drinking it was really nice. There's people that I've been avoiding because I've heard how bad they are. There's people that I was told they're assholes, but never gave them a chance. And when I gave them a chance, they weren't an asshole, right? Now, this preconceived notion, preconceived value of people is one of the most important concepts of everybody. And especially if you're a person that is... especially if you're a person that's self-sufficient. So, in which way can it affect your life? This evaluation of people, it's again, the simple concept of best friend and friends. So, a person will give you an advice, and your preconceived... It doesn't matter how good the advice is, right? Your value of the person, right, will be the one thing that matters when it comes to, do I listen to this advice or not? If it's a stranger, if it's a teacher, a teacher which is an authoritative figure, right? You listen to them, right? And grade school, you have one teacher, you listen to them. And in high school, you have a couple teachers. Then you have choice. And then with choice comes a choice. With choices come your choices. Yes, I like that person. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, I respect them. So I'll listen to this. No, you gave me a detention last week, I'm not going to listen to you. Right? Preconceived value of people. See, and that is super important. That is where I want to go with it. Your preconceived value of people will be the defining factor of your reaction or your interaction with them. If you think that a person isn't a good friend, right, you'll be like, I don't really want to have this talk with you. And you'll put in less effort, right? And then if you put less effort in a conversation, then this conversation shouldn't be going well because, again, you put less effort. That's on you. That's not on them. They didn't put less effort. You put less effort, right? And the reason why we're doing this video is because somebody came in yesterday, a cold stranger, and said, hey, you wrote something that really helped me out, right? Because I didn't know that person. It meant a lot to me, but it didn't mean as much to me as it would have from a close friend. Now, technically, this is a shitty thing to say, but I'm just being honest, you know? You're gonna have those very popular streamer and things, and they'll have 100 of those emails a day. Oh, you really helped me out. And there's a point where it feels really good, but knowing that you help somebody, and knowing it's more so knowing how you help that person. So one of your close friends, you help them out, you give them an advice, and it really helped them out. And because they really help them out, it's kind of a cool thing because you're like, okay, wow, I'm seeing how it impacts your life. Now the stranger, I'm super grateful, but I was like, I don't know how you were feeling before, and I don't know how you're feeling now. I helped you, but I don't know if you completely healed. So how much did I help you, right? And technically, if I can't ask this person because this question is not nice to ask, but I don't know, this preconceived value of this whole stranger, right? I've opened a door for the whole stranger. This is the Canadian way. We'll open door for the whole stranger. Now, why am I willing to put in the effort to open a door, but when a person say thank you, I don't, it's so weird. Because your notion is also how your friend approach you, right? So, for example, I was talking about, this is the perfect solution for I'm doing better. So I'm going to be calling this video I'm doing better part 2. I'm doing better part 2 is, again, we're talking about Xiao, my mom. We're two people I can think about that knows how to approach me, and knows how to tell me, and not necessarily teach me about things, but say, yo, this was not good, right? And it was nice because it was really nice in the fact that because I trust you, because usually your advice are good, because you have found a way to talk to me, for me to be open-minded at what you're saying, that I'm more likely to listen to your advice. And that's the problem with preconceived notion. It's also very bad because your preconceived notion will tell you, don't listen to that person, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And because you think that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you're not going to pay attention. But this lesson was possibly a good one, right? You didn't give them a chance you didn't give the chance for them to explain themselves, and because you didn't give them the chance to explain themselves, then you didn't give them the chance to even try to help you out, or even try to talk to you. See, it's such a, and I know what you're saying. This doesn't really matter. It's not an important thing, but it is an important thing. So take a company, right? You take a company and you have this company, like for example, Apple, right? And I was talking about this because my father was talking about Apple today and how good Apple was. But I don't like Apple, right? I love Pierce, little joke. But my father was talking about Apple and how much he liked Apple. It fell upon a dead ears. If I was more willing, more open-minded about the product of Apple, I would be like, okay, cool, I get it, right? Maybe I should try. But because I was closed-minded about the Apple product, everything I was saying kind of fell upon deaf ear, right? Now, was that okay? Was that okay for me to ask? Was my preconceived notion of a product and somebody trying to sell me how good that product was me knowing that product wasn't something that I was interested in, reason enough for them to be like talking to a fucking walls, right? And I don't know. But again, having preconceived notion about a brand is totally normal. Right, people will review brand and will tell you this is a good brand, this won't be a good brand. But it comes, and I think it's more for dudes, right? So you talk about a brand of tools, and it'll be like, oh, this is a good brand of tools. No, these are not good, right? And it's fucked because I couldn't believe that one brand, every single product is bad. I can't believe that. However, if you have a bad experience, it is normal that it teaches you something. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? But this preconceived notion is actually quite important. It's also in a conflict. It's actually extremely important. This person has a better image, right? If this person, for example, at work, right? You have this person that's really a good worker, right? And you're working on it in a team with them, and somehow what you're doing is not good. You made a mistake, right? Even though your partner did the mistake, since they're seen as the golden goose of the company, it seems as they're being seen as a better worker, then people will think it's you, right? People will presume it's you. If you make a mistake, people will say, oh, he did a mistake once, he's going to make a mistake again. Again, this is a preconceived value. And it leads us. And I think it replaces the instinct, right? So what I mean by that is actually quite simple. You're gonna meet people in life. You're gonna meet people, and you have this icky feeling. You have this feeling of, I'm listening to this guy, something is wrong about that guy, and you don't know him. So this is instinct, right? But if your preconceived value of things, right, are in a position to already make a opinion about a person or an object, then you don't give your chance to instinct. And instinct is a muscle. For example, right? I know that fire will burn me, right? Absolutely. So when I'm in a position facing a fire, I could be afraid. I can hesitate, right? Maybe I shouldn't be afraid. Maybe I shouldn't hesitate. Now, am I saying jump in the fire? No. But, for example, there's a person in that fire. You're not going to want to try to save them, right? Because you have this preconceived notion. But you're a human, and they're a human, and their life has value too. And even more than that, see, the preconceived notion is actually such a great thing to do. I'm going to tell the pros. There's one more con. I think that you learn more in your adversity. I think that you learn more in mistakes. So I made a mistake and I learned. I faced adversity and I learned. I came in a job, which is that job that I had, right? Not that job that I have right now, but the job that I had before that. And I was with a group of people, and it's kind of sad because for 4 years I was an agency worker, and nobody corrected me because like the mentality, the preconceived notion, the preconceived value of a person, of a temporary agent's worker is like, he's not going to be there for a while. He's not going to be there for long, so what's the point of correcting him? They were saying, hey, you're doing a good job. They didn't give a shit. But when I met the people at my work, they're like, no, you're fucking up, redo it. And at first I was like, people are fucking rude. No, they cared more than other people. They said, no, we're going to teach you. You're going to do a good job. We need you. And they didn't see me as a temp worker, and they saw me as another person. But technically speaking, that was wrong. That was absolutely wrong. They should have seen me as a temporary worker, because if I wasn't hired, right, then every time that they tried to help me, every time that they tried to teach me, then it served no purpose. But should you see a temporary agency worker as somebody that's not worth training, or you should see them as a potential employees that you should train, right? Complicated. And ultimately I was hired, so their effort paid off. But see, it's a risk. But you shouldn't judge a person on their age, sex, gender, race, right? That's preconceived notion. You're gonna have an experience with, I don't know, a person that's extremely political, right? They're extremely political. You're gonna have a bad experience. And every time that you're gonna hear about politics, you're gonna be like, oh man, I remember that moment, right? But the positive thing about preconceived notion is that, once again, fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. See, preconceived notion is the classic, is the exact synonym of learn from your mistake. It's one thing to make a mistake. If you learn from it, that's awesome. If you make a mistake and you don't learn and you keep making a mistake, you didn't learn, right? So preconceived notion plays a part in there. And preconceived notion is also going to be a guiding force. Well, I had this experience that was similar to that. I'm going to be able to do it. When you're building a chair, right? You first chair that you're building, you're like, okay, I can understand how it works. And the second chair that you're building is like always different, but I remember the first chair. You get better, you get experience. And I think life is a crazy thing, because life is supposed to be enjoyed. Life is the Big Brother logo. Shout out Bruno, my fucking man. Bruno, my fucking man. And it's actually like, okay, well, life is something that I should pursue because I want to pursue it. Life is something I should try out because I want to learn it. I want to feel it. I want to have my heart broke because I want to know how it feels. I'm gonna dive into a pool of pain to feel alive, right? But then you dive in a pool of pain and you drown because you don't know how to swim. Now, technically, the second time you're able to swim, right? You're able to float. At the very least, you're floating. And this is preconceived notion, is learning from life, right? So it's actually quite complicated, because life is something that is a teachable moment. Life is a constant school of life. And you're getting better grade, and you're learning, and you're studying, and you're studying, and you're studying. But then you're gonna have events in your life that, oh, you didn't allow them to happen, right? So you wanna believe in fate. So this girl hurt you when you were 13. She broke your heart when you were 13. Now, the girl that you were supposed to be marrying, you met her when you were 16. But because that girl broke your heart when you were 13, you didn't marry her, right? Because you didn't marry her, she has another life. That's your fault, right? But then again, should you throw yourself in the jaw of the lion, right? Thinking, what if, right? I think preconceived notion takes away the what if, right? And it kind of sucks, because the what if is the beauty of life, right? People, great thinker, understood one concept. What if? Great thinker understood why. Great question. Why? See, preconceived notion also solves the question of why. Why am I doing this? Well, because this event happened 2 weeks ago, and I remember this. So I'm thinking that it's going to be having the same conclusion. And it's stupid, because if your preconceived notion of the conclusion of an event is a positive one, you're gonna try it again and again and again and again and again. And then you're gonna have negative results, and like, just the fuck just happened. See, with gambling, that's the same thing. And this is how far it goes. This is really how far it goes. So the gambling, they'll let you win a couple of games, right? Because they'll let you win a couple of games. So here are how it is. Okay? Trust me, this is crazy. So this is alleged, right? I'm not going after anybody. I'm not naming any places, brand, company. But there are certain establishments, right, that you'll go in, and they'll have slot machines, right? I'm not going to say where, I'm not going to say whom, but they'll have slot machine, right? And the cheapest one, right, the one that costs you a nickel back. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Now how did our guys get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? Little nickel back. If you're not a fan, you probably already left the video, so who gives a shit? Right? So with these places, they'll have very low risk, very high reward places, slots. So the slots that cost a nickel, right, will give you a grand prize of $1. Will give you a grand prize of $2, right? And then you're like, holy shit, I made $2, right? But the price that you had to pay, right? The price that you had to pay was 10 cents. So you did 10 times the amount of money. So then you feel like you're lucky, right? So what are you gonna do the next time that you're going? Fuck the nickel back machine. I'm gonna go with the $20 machine, and I'm gonna run for the $20. And because last time I won a lot, this time I should be winning a lot. Then you realize that, fuck, I also have cash. There's no problem losing a nickel, but losing a $20, that's a bit more. So now you have a problem with the preconceived notion. I have one positive experience, and when I have one negative experience, it's a 1-on-1. I need a tiebreaker. I need a 2 out of 3, right? So the third time that you go is where you testing metal. The third time you should go, what machine do you use? $20 or the nickel, right? Now, if you answer the nickel, possibly you don't enjoy life as much as you should. Maybe you don't take the risk that you should to enjoy life to its fullest. And if you answer $20, maybe you're taking too many risks. There's no good answer, right? A person will choose one machine, another person will choose another machine. Both of them are right, both of them are wrong. That's preconceived notion. That is preconceived notion. And how it affects your everyday perception. See, it's kind of crazy. I called myself today. I called myself a bread. And I meant it. I call myself a bread. So, as you guys know, I have a background in bakery, right? Also looking for work. Any bakeries are hiring, let me know. But life is a piece of toast. So you're born and you're flour, right? You're basic flour, you're bland as fuck, no experience. No experience, tasteless, right? And then your parents are the yeast. The yeast, which is the solving matter that will make the bread be the bread, that will make the bread grow out, right? Now, the bread, why does it grow? Why does it become the way it is because the salt will actually kill the yeast. The salt killing the yeast will release a gas. The gas will release and make the dough blow, right? The dough blow. Because that's a salt is the experience, right? How much you grow, how much you don't grow is from the experience, right? But then you tell me, bread is more than just salt, bread, and yeast. And you're entirely right. The majority of bread is what? It's water. You're right? What is water? It's your perception, right? And water, when you're Aquarius like me, because I'm Aquarius, if you were wondering, now you know. Now you know. Now I'm going to get a bunch of comments saying, fuck Aquarius. Go ahead. You fucking Libras. See, with the water, and the water is another thing that is super bland, right? And because the great thing about being super bland is you can add lemon. You can have fucking juice, right? You can add some taste. So what is water? It's your perception, right? It's how you see events, how you perceive events, right? Your body is also made of a lot of water, so turns out it's quite a good analogy, right? Your perception will play for a lot, and your perception is what? Is the way you see things. So what affects the way you see things? Past experience, and past experience is once again preconceived notion. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you. Peace.